FragWatch here. Today we're going to be going over my Mousepad review process. So if I get a bunch of mousepads from one company, or a bunch of mousepads at a time, I'll do an unboxing series of just like 5 mice in a row. And I'll probably in the future keep it all to one video, so it's just compressed, right? Because mousepad unboxings, like, I don't know, unless it's unique, unless it's got a unique packaging, or it's like a really hyped product. Really, it'd have to be a hyped product with really good packaging for me to do an unboxing video, or super limited rare edition that most people can't get their hands on or ever even see. Then I'll do an unboxing video individually for those. So that's how it starts. I test, so my initial impressions are after I've spent 7 hours gameplay, not desktop use, gameplay or serious testing where I'm focused on that for minimum 5 hours, but usually about 7 to 8 hours. So when I give my initial impressions, because I like people to know, and the reason I give initial impressions is I want people to know where I stand on it at that point, and then, does it break in? Does it feel better? Does your hand get used to it? Your muscles get used to it? That's why the final review really exists. I usually know pretty well in the initial impressions if I'm going to like a product, but there are some products where I have to adjust, my muscles on my hand have to adjust to get it comfortable, and really for me to kind of get that muscle movement, because how you grip a mouse, if it's going to affect your arms and your muscle movement and all that, right? And even how your fingers lie on the mouse, how you pick up your mice when you flick, or pick up your fingers when you flick, pick up your mice. I guess I could call my fingers my little mice. Yeah. So I also have reference mouse pads that I test, each product with and against. And I've referenced mice. This was it. Still a great mouse. Hard not to tie these three together. But this is like a larger symmetrical. So the smaller ones. These are my reference mice. Okay, and I test them on every pad. It's usually not 2, it's usually just 1 symmetrical for claw grip. But I like to test things on, that way I can see how much pressure I'm putting on the pad. It's going to vary, and different shapes and grip styles, how they all handle on every pad. My reference mouse pads that I test in comparison and against are currently the Type 99 by Artisan, the Key 83 by Artisan, Vaxi PD, Vaxi PC, the Wallhack 004, Kurosan Samurai, if I have it out. I love that thing, totally. Good pad. Those are my references. And before the Key 83, it was the Hayate Atsu version 2. I'd pull that out to reference test because I know I perform good on those. The 2 base metrics that I use for mousepad testing are AimLab, and I have a gamut of tests that I run that I know I perform well on, and I'll do that with the pad I'm testing or pads that I'm testing. I've started to rotate 2 pads in and do it over a longer period of time, so it's even more comparison, and then I'll do the reference pad on the same day in the same time period, so I know, hey, am I performing to the actual top of my level with equipment that I know is awesome and works and is good, right? So I'll go into AimLab, say with this 99G ATK and with a fingertip mouse, which I perform very consistent with, very good, and I'll do that. I'll do 10 runs of that typically, unless I'm cramped for time, and then I'll do 5. I always do my testing, almost always do my testing in the morning, so I perform better in the morning. So I do that, and then I'll whip out, whatever pad is my reference pad, put it up here, do it, make sure I'm performing to my level of, where I should be at, make sure my mind is functioning to a level where I feel comfortable testing the product and knowing that I am giving my best to testing the product, because you always want to do your best to do your best. Always do your best. Okay. And then each mouse pad I also test with different grip styles, because there's different pressures applied to the mouse pad. And now with a lot of companies realizing adding dimensionality and that X-Soft variant, the Z-axis, into their products, that matters a lot, is how much pressure you're applying, because to use that Z-axis you have to apply pressure. Different skate designs, different grip styles are gonna do that differently. So I have this for palm grip. This is my palm grip reference. This is the Pulsar V4 Quicks Edition. Used to be the Pulsar V3. I have this in size 1 and size 2. So depending on what mouse I'm testing at the time, I'll change it from size 1 to size 2. My size 1 is just back on the table behind me, and I can pull that out at any time, just to match that. Yeah, so that's my palm grip. This was my symmetrical for a month. Before that, it was the X2 V2. Just because I'm so used to it, and yeah, it's very reliable, and I have like 12 of them, and they're all floating around somewhere. I always have one somewhere close. It's kind of weird to say about a mouse. Anyways, I digress. But these two, the Hyperlight hit scan Hyperlight, and this Leviathan F1 Leviathan by ATK, are my symmetricals for relaxed claw and aggressive claw. Relaxed and aggressive, there we go. Yeah, and they can kind of sub in for one another. This one has a faster attack slope off the back and a little bit higher hump. Anyways, so those are my reference mice. And then after my initial impressions, typically I will write, if there's big negatives, I'll write them down. And then if there's outlier positives that I'm not convinced are going to remain that way, I will jot those down. I'll note them down. Just little bullet points, sentence maximum on each thing. And then I just test it out for the next, 15 hours. I try to put 2 hours of click heavy whatever into my testing. And each pad gets additional desktop use. So really, when you take my total time on a pad, I probably already have 50 hours on this overall use, but I only have, I might be at a full 25 hours on this game wise. I'll have to look. I do typically at the end of a day jot down the gaming time. It's not exact. It's within 15 to 30 minutes of my total time with it, though, for sure. But yeah. And, people are going to be like, well, what about lobby time and Counter-Strike? I'm like, yeah, that counts as game time. Sorry, I'm not going to get that nitpicky with it. For mouse pads, another thing I do, also, if I'm questioning the durability, I will do a cup break-in method to draw this in and really wear it out quickly. I do that with old plastic cups, and I just grind them in every direction, all over the pad. And it helps. It'll make pads feel more velvety. I'll do it all over the pad so it's consistent. Well, when I'm testing it, I do this area first just to see if there's a difference, and I'll break in the rest of the pad. And it's such an aggressive, abrasive test that it will, some pads will just flat out fail. So I do that near the end of my review time, because there are some pads where the fabric during that will get loose and degrade, and that's a good test. It shows the durability. Still usable, but that little wobble does make a difference. So, but that's few and far between nowadays. That used to be a big problem. But the cup break-in method for a lot of pads is a good shortcut to breaking in the whole pad and having it all even and consistent. But I would recommend, if you don't have to do it, don't do it. But if you want to quickly break in a pad, that's the way to do it. I wait till the end of my reviews or near the end to do that, to test durability. I have my arm test that I do. And I check my arm after every gaming session, see if, it's red. I have very fair skin, as you probably can guess. And, see if it's tearing up my skin. And there's some pads that really have torn up my skin, and I've just deemed as like, I don't know, I don't recommend that, That's my process. When I'm giving my actual review right before I do it, I will write down the negative things about it, just in single or maybe a few words. Never a sentence, just a few words usually. Each negative bullet point that I think people need to know about, that should know about. If there's suggestions for the manufacturer, the engineers, I'll put that second. And, because I think that's important too. If we're going to critique a product, let's give them some advice and some constructive criticism so they can improve. Try and do that and thank them. They're putting a lot of effort in to making this product and having me fucking roast it if it's not good, and they put a lot of effort and heart into it, really tried their best. Then, I want to let them know, thank you for doing this. Here's what you can do to improve, in my opinion, and give them that opportunity. See what happens. Always give people the benefit of the doubt and an opportunity to do better if they're truly applying themselves to do that. Always. Period. Philosophy for life out there. Hano philosophy for those who know me. All right. Yeah, and then most of the good stuff, I almost never really bullet point the positives. Those are all off the cuff. My genuine, just like straight off the top of my head thoughts. I don't rehearse. Most of my stuff is first take. I just turn on the camera, talk, go. There's very little pre-thought that goes into these. Obviously, while I'm using it, like I'm thinking like, okay, I've already thought about a lot of these products for 25 hours. Like I get it. From what I've gathered, that's more than a lot of reviewers put in to their products. And there's, it's difficult knowing like being pretty sure I'm not going to like a product 8 hours in or 10 hours in, and then pressing myself to put another 10 to 15 hours on that product to verify. It's very important. Verify and give credence to the product, right? Give it its chance, its fair shot. And I've been wrong on 2 products so far that I hated at first and I loved afterwards. I just see, and this isn't a bash against a lot of reviewers. I get why you do it. Another thing, I pay for all my pads. I pay for all of my equipment out of my own pocket. No freebies. These are all mine. If I don't like them, I have to give them away or sell them. Or just keep them in a collection, and hopefully someday somebody will want to buy 1,000 fucking mice. I pay for each and every one of these at MSRP. Some of them I pay aftermarket prices for, so I can get reviews out to you guys. Some of them get I have to deal with the shipping stuff. I don't get any freebies. I don't really want any freebies. I don't need any freebies. Obviously, it'd be nice. I don't want that to affect my opinion. I want to feel like a consumer. I know people think, and this isn't a knock on any other reviewers. I think people think getting a freebie or an early unit or whatever isn't going to affect their opinion of the product or the brand. But it does. There's nothing you can do about that. There's a bias there. Period. So I buy all my stuff. I wait in line like everyone else. I do all the stupid drops. I try and beat the bots, and I do. I do a really good job of it. You see the number of limited edition stupid glass pads I have and haven't used. Fuck. Right? Or mice. I got 3 limited edition fucking things I haven't even opened. They're just sitting over there. One's been there for a month. I buy all these with my own money. I test them, and if I don't like them, I wish there was like a charity to give them to. For like, I don't know, high school esports teams or whatever. That's cool. It's a good idea. I'm going to pursue that. See, this is what I do on the fly. You guys get to see my dumbass like brainstorm shit like that. Good. It's my process. Yeah. And then I, packages it up, and I really think the companies and engineers that are really going out on a limb and taking a chance to do something different or do something new or be successful, add value to the market, add something new, add something better, improve the gaming experience for everybody or for those who use their product. I think everyone's trying to do that, doing their best, and really trying to do good for the consumer. Deserves credit, even if their product sucks. If they're iterating on it, I like to give credit on that. One thing I don't like is I see this a lot, and it drives me just batshit crazy, is reviews that don't roast a product that deserves roasting, or don't, you have a duty to find the bad things as a reviewer. You have a duty to advise people. That's your duty, and you can't be, that's why, getting free products and even just getting early products, if you're paying for them, affects your opinion. I got a Pet Brick 65 early. It's a keyboard, and they require that you review it to their Discord, and you get it for 15% off. And I'll give my honest opinion on it. I'll try my best to, but I am going to give a disclaimer. That is going to affect my review, whether I like it or not. And other reviewers, they say it's not going to affect their opinion. Look, you're human. It's going to. I don't care what you say. I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for this. I'm already in my mind like, should I post this video? Fuck. But I'm going to. Like, I really have that opinion. I know you get early review units so you can get it out and be the first one. To me, it's like, fuck you, really. I love you guys, but, it affects your opinion. And it makes it harder for other YouTubers to come up, because you're getting stuff 2 weeks in advance, 3 weeks in advance, a month in advance, sometimes 2 months in advance. While us other YouTubers get it the day of. We have to get on release day. We have to beat the boss. We don't just get it sent out. We're putting in more work. We're living the consumer experience. My opinion. Anyways, that's my process for Mousepad reviews. I got a little spicy there at the end. But all you reviewers out there, I'm not gonna name names. You know who you are. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate you leading the way. I appreciate some of you for your production value. It's much higher than mine, period. I wish you guys, from the production time that you put in, put more time reviewing the actual product. I don't know. My opinion. A little roasty, a little toasty. But what you do is a good service. I don't I don't mention specs most of the time on shit, because people can look it up on the fucking website. They can do that on their own. If they're going to buy a product, they should be doing that. I'm not going to hold their fucking hand. I have faith in my viewers to look up that information on their own. Yeah. That's why I don't do that. And I like, being able to churn out videos as quickly as I can. Get it out, get it genuine. All the good stuff. My voice, my mouth is just being eaten alive. I'm sick again. Ugh. All right. FragWatch out. You guys have any questions? Leave them below. If you have any suggestions on what I should add, leave them below. Oh, I got a cool mouse skate test coming up. I've spent $2,000 on it. Who else is doing that? No one fucking is doing that. I'm doing that. So I want to know. I can. It'll be fun. I got 5 test platforms that I'm going to use, and like $1,100 worth of mice, $1,000 worth of mice or mouse skates. It's a lot. Another $1,000 in test benching equipment. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time. Also, mouse review. I shout out to Brandon Taylor. You're my man. I saw you use that magnifying glass in your recent video, and I was like, man, those are affordable now. Because when I looked at back in July, I guess I must have been tired or some shit. They were like $200-300 each. And I'm like, I don't know if it's that important. I'm sure other people are doing the close-ups. And Liam, you do a great job with your macro photography. Anyways, I got a little digital microscope with a screen, an OLED screen, so I can zoom in on these. I don't even know if I'll put it in my reviews, but it's more for my own knowledge and comparison. I get asked to compare a lot of different pads. That's another thing is I have a stockpile. I have 2 4-foot. Well, one in storage is also 2 foot. So I have 2 4-foot high stacks of mouse pads here on location, and another stack that's 2 to 3 feet tall, and that's not including pads that are over 5 years old. That's probably another foot tall stack, I want to say. They're all raggedy, but whatever. And then mice, the same thing. If I had to guess, I have 120, 150, maybe mice, different mice. And some of those I have like 2, 3, 4 X2s. I have like 10, maybe 12, 15 of them. I don't even know. I like them. I like the colorways. I think they're cool. I display them. Just like art. That's my thoughts on them. And they're a cool talking piece, and it's interesting to talk about. I love this. I love this hobby. I love esports. Been involved in that for, it's hard to think about. I just found a Counter-Strike demo. The first season of the first league, the first match. Date January 20th of 2000. A demo from Aztec. Both sides, T and CT. Iron Glove League. Might be one of the first Counter-Strike demos, competitive demos in existence. And I found it on an old hard drive. Also found my Steam beta from late 2001, December 2001, the install file. I found a lot of cool stuff on that old hard drive, digging it up, and yeah, it was cool. It was neat. Anywho, catch you guys in the next one. FragWatch out. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Really.